Behind every Fortune 500 company, disruptive innovation, and billion-dollar empire lies a story rarely told in glossy headlines or polished earnings reports: the human journey. The world's most iconic CEOs didn't just climb ladders. They rebuilt them, stumbled off them, and sometimes set them on fire to forge entirely new paths. What separates these visionaries isn't just wealth or influence, but the unrelenting grit, calculated risks, and hard-won wisdom they accumulated in the process. In an era obsessed with overnight success, their stories are a masterclass in resilience, reinvention, and the art of turning setbacks into rocket fuel. From Jeff Bezos's relentless customer obsession to Satya Nadella's embrace of learn-it-all curiosity, this isn't just about boardroom strategies. It's about the mindset shifts, gut-wrenching failures, and audacious bets that redefine what's possible. Ready to decode the playbook of the pioneers who didn't just chase success, but rewrote its rules? Let's dive in. Every great leader starts somewhere, and for many top CEOs, that beginning was anything but glamorous. Some grew up in small towns, others in struggling households, and a few even faced hardships that seemed impossible to overcome. Yet, despite their modest origins, they managed to build companies that changed the world. Their stories are not just about success, but about the power of perseverance, self-belief, and learning from every experience. Many of the world's most successful CEOs did not inherit their fortunes or step into leadership with ease. Some worked odd jobs, others faced rejection after rejection, and many started businesses that failed before they found success. These early struggles were not obstacles, they were lessons. They built character, resilience, and a deep understanding of the world that shaped the way these leaders approached business and life. Small beginnings teach humility. When someone starts with little, they learn to appreciate every step of progress. They understand the value of hard work because they have had to do it themselves. They become resourceful, making the most of what they have instead of waiting for the perfect conditions. Many CEOs credit their ability to solve problems quickly to the challenges they faced early on. When resources are scarce, creativity and determination become the most valuable tools. Struggles in the early stages of life or business also teach patience. It takes time to build something meaningful, and those who have faced setbacks early on know that success is not instant. They learn to push forward even when things seem hopeless. This persistence is what separates those who succeed from those who give up too soon. Perhaps the most important lesson from humble beginnings is the understanding that failure is not the end. Many successful CEOs started ventures that did not work out, lost money, or faced serious doubts. But instead of letting these moments define them, they used them as stepping stones. They learned, adjusted, and tried again. Over time, these small lessons added up to something bigger, a mindset of resilience and adaptability. Every great leader has a story, and many of those stories begin with challenges, uncertainty, and even failure. But what defines them is not where they started. It is how they chose to keep moving forward, one step at a time. Many of the world's most successful CEOs did not start with wealth or privilege. Instead, they came from backgrounds where money was scarce, opportunities were limited, and success seemed far out of reach. Yet these challenges did not stop them. They worked hard, took risks, and kept moving forward, proving that where you begin in life does not determine where you end up. One of the most well-known examples is Howard Schultz, the man behind Starbucks. He grew up in a low-income housing complex where his family struggled to make ends meet. As a child, he watched his father work tough jobs without benefits or financial security. This experience deeply affected him, shaping his belief in building a company where employees were valued. When Schultz first had the idea of turning Starbucks into a global brand, He faced countless rejections from investors who did not believe in his vision. But he did not give up. He kept pushing, learning and adapting until Starbucks became one of the most recognized coffee brands in the world. Another powerful story is that of Oprah Winfrey. Raised in poverty by a single mother, she faced not only financial struggles, but also personal hardships that could have broken her spirit. She started her career in local television, taking small roles before finally landing her own talk show. Through resilience and determination, she turned that opportunity into a media empire, becoming one of the most influential figures in the world. Her journey is a reminder that even the most difficult beginnings do not define a person's future. Indra Nooyi, the former CEO of PepsiCo, had a different but equally inspiring path. Born in India to a middle-class family, she worked hard to get an education, often studying late into the night. When she moved to the United States for higher studies, she faced financial difficulties and took on night shifts as a receptionist to support herself. Despite these struggles, she never lost focus. Her persistence and intelligence helped her rise through the corporate world, eventually leading one of the biggest companies in the world. These stories prove a simple but powerful truth. Success is not reserved for those who come from privilege or wealth. It belongs to those who refuse to be defined by their circumstances. The people who grow, adapt, and keep moving forward, no matter how many obstacles they face, are the ones who achieve greatness. The beginning of the journey may be difficult, but what truly matters is how one chooses to rise above it. Curiosity is the silent force that drives the most successful people in the world. It is the hunger to learn, the excitement of discovering something new, and the willingness to question what others accept as normal. Many of the top CEOs did not reach their positions simply by following the traditional path. They got there because they never stopped learning, exploring, or challenging themselves to see things differently. A common trait among these leaders is their deep desire to understand the world around them. They do not just accept things as they are, they ask why. This habit of questioning leads them to uncover opportunities that others overlook. They explore ideas, test new concepts, and seek out knowledge in unexpected places. Instead of believing they already have all the answers, they remain students of life, always eager to learn more. Elon Musk is often seen as a visionary, but his greatest strength lies in his ability to absorb knowledge across multiple fields. He did not have a formal background in rocket science, yet he built SpaceX into one of the most innovative space companies in the world. He taught himself engineering by reading books, asking experts questions, and applying what he learned. His curiosity about space, technology, and the future pushed him to break barriers that seemed impossible. Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors of all time, has built his fortune not just on financial strategies, but on his relentless habit of learning. Even in his 90s, he dedicates hours every day to reading and studying businesses. He believes that knowledge compounds over time, much like money does. His success is not just about numbers, it is about continuously expanding his understanding of the world. Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, transformed the company by fostering a culture of curiosity. He encouraged employees to adopt a growth mindset, where learning and adapting were more valuable than simply being right. Under his leadership, Microsoft shifted from a rigid corporate structure to an environment where innovation thrived. His belief in lifelong learning allowed the company to stay relevant in an ever-changing industry. Curiosity is not just about asking questions. It is about having the courage to seek answers. It is about being open to new ideas, willing to change perspectives, and constantly pushing the boundaries of what is possible. The most successful CEOs understand that knowledge is never complete. They embrace the unknown, explore new territories, and continue to grow long after they have achieved success. Their journeys prove that learning is not a phase of life, but a way of life. Success is not the end of the journey. It is only a point along the way. The best CEOs do not stop learning once they reach the top. Instead, they continue to seek knowledge, challenge their own thinking, and explore new ideas. Their curiosity is what keeps them ahead in a constantly changing world. One of the most well-known examples is Bill Gates. Even after co-founding Microsoft and becoming one of the richest people in the world, he never stopped learning. He dedicates a significant part of his time to reading, studying global issues, and meeting experts from different fields. His curiosity has led him to work on challenges far beyond technology, such as public health, climate change, and education. His ability to absorb knowledge and apply it in new areas has allowed him to remain a major influence in the world long after stepping down from Microsoft. Jeff Bezos built Amazon into a global powerhouse, but his learning never stopped at e-commerce. Even as his company became the leader in online retail, he constantly explored new industries. His curiosity led him to launch Amazon Web Services, which transformed cloud computing, and later, he turned his attention to space exploration with Blue Origin. He did not rely on past success, but kept pushing forward, learning from different fields and applying that knowledge to create something new. Tim Cook took over Apple after Steve Jobs, inheriting one of the most successful companies in history. But instead of simply maintaining what was built, he kept learning and evolving as a leader. He focused on sustainability, supply chain innovation, and new product development. His willingness to embrace change and understand shifting global trends has kept Apple at the forefront of the industry. Curiosity is what allows leaders to stay relevant. It prevents stagnation and opens doors to new opportunities. The world does not stand still, and those who stop learning eventually fall behind. The most successful CEOs understand this and never settle for what they already know. They read, ask questions, explore unfamiliar subjects, and surround themselves with people who challenge their thinking. Growth does not come from staying in the comfort of past achievements. It comes from the willingness to step into the unknown, to remain a student, even when the world sees you as a master. The greatest innovators are not those who believe they have all the answers, but those who keep searching for better ones. Every great achievement begins with a single step, yet for many that first step is the hardest to take. Fear, doubt, and hesitation often hold people back, making them question whether they are ready or capable. The most successful CEOs in the world did not wait for perfect conditions or complete certainty before they started. They understood that action matters more than perfection, and that progress comes from doing, not just thinking. Fear is natural when stepping into the unknown. It is a feeling that comes with risk, but those who succeed learn how to move forward despite it. Many top leaders started with little experience, no guarantees, and plenty of reasons to be afraid. They did not wait until they had all the answers, because they knew that answers often come only after starting. Taking the first step is what allows learning to happen. Mistakes and challenges along the way are not signs of failure, they are part of the process. Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, had no background in business or fashion when she came up with her idea. She was selling fax machines door to door when she decided to pursue her vision of creating better shapewear for women. She did not have industry connections or investors, but she started anyway. She faced countless rejections, yet each setback taught her something new. If she had waited until she had the perfect plan or all the resources in place, she might never have built the billion-dollar brand that exists today. Reed Hastings, the co-founder of Netflix, did not know exactly how his business would evolve when he first started. He began with DVD rentals, and it was only through action and experimentation that he saw the opportunity to shift towards streaming. If he had waited until the perfect technology or business model was in place, Netflix might never have grown into what it is today. His willingness to take the first step, adjust, and learn along the way was what led to success. Waiting for perfection often leads to inaction. Many people spend years planning, refining, and preparing only to find that the moment never feels quite right. But those who achieve great things understand that perfection is an illusion. They start with what they have, take small steps, and improve as they go. The courage to begin is what separates those who turn ideas into reality from those who only dream about them. Every successful person was once a beginner. They faced uncertainty, made mistakes, and learned through experience. What mattered was not that they had a flawless plan, but that they took action. The first step is never easy, but it is always necessary. Moving forward, even with doubts and fears, is what leads to growth, learning, and ultimately, success. Starting something new is never easy. It comes with uncertainty, doubts, and risks that can make even the most determined person hesitate. Many of the world's most successful CEOs faced the same fears before launching their companies. They did not have all the answers, nor did they know if their ideas would work, but they started anyway, proving that taking the first step is what truly matters. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak did not have a clear blueprint when they started Apple. They built their first computers in a garage, using whatever parts they could afford. They had no guarantee that people would want to buy their product. Investors were skeptical, and the personal computer industry was still in its infancy. But instead of waiting for certainty, they took a risk. They created their first product, tested the market, and refined their ideas along the way. That simple act of beginning laid the foundation for one of the most influential companies in history. Elon Musk, before becoming known for Tesla and SpaceX, faced a crossroads in his career. After selling his first company, he could have played it safe. But instead, he poured nearly all his money into building an electric car company and a private space exploration company, two industries filled with failures and skepticism. Experts doubted that Tesla could compete with traditional automakers, and SpaceX faced multiple failed rocket launches that nearly ended the company. Musk was close to losing everything, but because he had already taken the first step, he kept going. Eventually, both companies revolutionized their industries. Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia, the founders of Airbnb, had no experience running a hospitality business. They were struggling to pay rent when they came up with the idea of renting out space in their apartment to travelers. The idea seemed risky. Would people really want to stay in a stranger's home instead of a hotel? They had doubts, and many investors dismissed them. But instead of overanalyzing, they tested their idea by listing their own apartment online. That small first step gave them valuable insight, and from there, they built Airbnb into a global company that transformed the travel industry. What these stories show is that waiting for the perfect moment or a foolproof plan can lead to missed opportunities. Success does not come from knowing everything in advance. It comes from starting, learning, and adjusting along the way. The biggest companies in the world were not built by people who had every answer before they began. They were built by those who took action despite uncertainty. Taking the first step, no matter how small, is what opens the door to bigger things. It sets things in motion, builds momentum, and provides real-world lessons that no amount of planning can replace. Every great business, every breakthrough idea, and every success story begins with someone who was willing to start. Failure is often seen as something to be avoided, but for many of the most successful CEOs, it was the very thing that shaped their journey. It taught them resilience, forced them to think differently, and pushed them to improve. The road to success is rarely smooth, and those who reach the top do so not because they never failed, but because they learned from every setback. One of the most well-known stories of failure comes from Steve Jobs. After co-founding Apple and helping it grow into a major company, he was forced out of his own company in a public and painful dismissal. For many, this would have been the end of the road. But Jobs took this failure as an opportunity to start fresh. He founded a new company, learned new skills, and refined his leadership approach. When he eventually returned to Apple years later, he was a different leader. The lessons he learned during his time away helped him turn Apple into one of the most successful companies in history. Another example is Walt Disney. Before creating the empire that bears his name, he faced repeated failures. His first animation company went bankrupt. He was told he lacked creativity and that his ideas would never work. But instead of giving up, he kept going. He learned from every mistake, improved his storytelling, and eventually built a brand that became one of the most influential in the entertainment industry. His failures did not stop him. They prepared him for success. Elon Musk is known for pushing boundaries, but his career has been filled with failures. SpaceX, his space exploration company, saw multiple rocket launches end in explosions, with millions of dollars lost in the process. Tesla, his electric car company, came close to bankruptcy more than once. Each of these failures could have ended his journey, but instead they became learning moments. He studied what went wrong, made changes, and kept moving forward. Eventually, both companies became leaders in their industries. Failure is painful, but it also has the power to transform. The greatest leaders do not fear failure. They embrace it as part of the process. They do not see it as the end of their story, but as a chapter that teaches them what they need to know. Instead of being discouraged, they ask what they can learn from the experience. They make adjustments, improve their strategies, and try again with more knowledge than before. Success is not about avoiding mistakes, but about learning from them. The most accomplished CEOs in the world have all faced failures that could have stopped them, but they did not let those failures define them. Instead, they used them as stepping stones, proving that setbacks are not the opposite of success. They are a necessary part of it. Failure often feels like the end of the road. It brings disappointment, doubt, and the urge to give up. But for those who achieve great success, failure is never the final chapter. It is simply a lesson, a necessary part of growth that shapes the journey ahead. The most accomplished CEOs in the world have all faced moments when things went wrong. What set them apart was not the absence of failure, but the way they responded to it. Instead of seeing failure as a permanent defeat, they viewed it as a valuable teacher. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, famously failed thousands of times before he succeeded. When asked about his repeated failures, he did not see them as wasted efforts. Instead, he believed that each failed attempt was a step closer to finding the right solution. His mindset allowed him to persist where others might have stopped, and his relentless experimentation eventually led to one of the most important inventions in history. Oprah Winfrey faced rejection early in her career. She was fired from her first television job because her bosses felt she was not suited for the industry. That failure could have ended her career before it even began. But instead of accepting defeat, she took the experience as a lesson. She learned what worked, refined her skills, and eventually created her own path. Today, she is one of the most influential media personalities in the world. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, built his company through constant trial and error. Not every idea worked. Some projects failed spectacularly, costing millions of dollars. But instead of viewing those failures as losses, he saw them as necessary steps toward innovation. He often said that big successes are built on top of failed experiments. Amazon's growth was not a straight path. It was a process of testing, failing, learning, and improving. Failure is painful, but it is also powerful. It teaches lessons that success never could. It forces people to rethink their approach, make adjustments, and come back stronger. The key is not to avoid failure, but to embrace it as part of the journey. Those who succeed do not let failure break them. They analyze what went wrong, learn from it, and use that knowledge to move forward. Every step forward, even the ones that seem like mistakes, is part of the path to success. The most successful leaders in the world did not reach the top without setbacks. What made the difference was their ability to see failure not as an ending, but as a stepping stone. The real failure is not in making mistakes. It is in refusing to learn from them. No one achieves success alone. Behind every great leader is a network of people who have offered guidance, support, and wisdom at different stages of their journey. The most successful CEOs did not just rely on their own knowledge and instincts. They sought advice, learned from experienced mentors, and surrounded themselves with people who challenged them to think differently. Choosing the right voices to listen to played a crucial role in shaping their decisions and leadership styles. Mentors and advisors provide more than just knowledge. They offer perspective, helping leaders see opportunities and risks that may not be obvious at first. Many CEOs have credited their success to the people who guided them early on, sharing lessons that only experience could teach. These relationships help them navigate challenges, avoid costly mistakes, and stay focused on their long-term vision. Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors in history, often speaks about the influence of his mentor, Benjamin Graham. Graham taught him principles of value investing, but more importantly, he helped shape Buffett's disciplined and patient approach to business. That guidance became the foundation of Buffett's career, proving that the right mentor can change the way a person thinks and makes decisions. Mark Zuckerberg built Facebook into one of the most influential companies in the world, but he did not do it alone. He sought advice from people who had more experience in business and technology, including Steve Jobs. Jobs encouraged him to focus on building something meaningful rather than just chasing profits. That advice helped Zuckerberg shape Facebook's long-term mission and expand its impact beyond just being a social networking site. Elon Musk, despite his reputation for bold and independent thinking, has always valued learning from others. He has built relationships with top engineers, scientists, and industry experts who have helped him push the boundaries of what is possible in technology and space exploration. He surrounds himself with people who challenge his ideas rather than just agreeing with him, which has allowed him to refine his vision and continuously improve. Having a strong support system is just as important as having the right mentors. CEOs who succeed often build teams of people who share their passion and believe in their mission. They do not try to do everything alone. They trust their teams, listen to different viewpoints, and create environments where ideas can be challenged and improved. The ability to learn from others and accept feedback is one of the key traits that set great leaders apart. Success is not just about what a person knows, but also about who they learn from. The most accomplished leaders understand the value of listening to those with more experience, surrounding themselves with people who push them to be better, and continuously seeking knowledge from the right sources. The people they chose to listen to shaped their journey, proving that the right guidance can make all the difference. Success is never a straight road. It is filled with unexpected challenges, moments of doubt, and times when everything seems to go wrong. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is resilience. The most successful CEOs in the world have faced failures, criticism, and uncertainty, but they did not allow these obstacles to define them. Instead, they found ways to stay strong, manage stress, and keep moving forward even when the future was unclear. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulties, but about facing them with the right mindset. When businesses struggle, markets crash, or ideas fail, strong leaders do not let fear take over. They take a step back, look at the bigger picture, and remind themselves why they started in the first place. They understand that setbacks are temporary and that persistence is the key to overcoming them. Jeff Bezos built Amazon into one of the most valuable companies in the world, but there were many times when it could have failed. In the early years, the company struggled to make a profit, and many investors doubted its survival. Instead of panicking, Bezos focused on long-term goals. He knew that real success takes time, and he was willing to be patient. His ability to stay calm under pressure and continue innovating helped Amazon become a global leader. Indra Nooyi, the former CEO of PepsiCo, faced many challenges as one of the few women leading a major corporation. She managed difficult business decisions, market shifts, and personal sacrifices. Through it all, she remained committed to her vision. She practiced mindfulness, stayed physically active, and built a strong support system to handle the pressures of leadership. Her resilience helped her lead PepsiCo through years of growth and transformation. Mental strength is not just about handling stress. It is also about having the patience to see things through. Many leaders understand that success does not happen overnight. They do not let short-term failures shake their confidence. Instead, they stay focused on their long-term vision. When Elon Musk faced multiple failed rocket launches at SpaceX, he did not abandon his mission. He analyzed what went wrong, made adjustments, and tried again. His ability to stay patient and keep pushing forward turned SpaceX into a pioneer in space exploration. Strong leaders also know how to take care of themselves during tough times. They find ways to clear their minds, whether through exercise, meditation, or spending time with loved ones. They understand that mental and physical well-being are essential for making good decisions. They do not let stress consume them, and they recognize when they need to step back and recharge. Resilience is what separates those who reach their goals from those who stop when things get hard. Every successful CEO has faced moments when quitting seemed easier than continuing. But instead of giving up, they kept going. They adapted, learned, and grew stronger with every challenge. It is not talent, luck, or intelligence that determines success. It is the ability to stay strong, push through difficulties, and believe in the future even when the present is uncertain. Innovation is what sets great leaders apart. It is the ability to look at a problem and see possibilities where others see limitations. The most successful CEOs in the world did not achieve greatness by following the same path as everyone else. They built their success by thinking differently, questioning traditional methods, and taking bold risks that others were afraid to take. Creativity and problem-solving are at the heart of every breakthrough idea. Businesses face constant challenges, whether it is changing customer needs, new technology, or unexpected competition. The leaders who rise above these challenges are the ones who refuse to accept the status quo. They experiment, explore new ideas, and find solutions that no one else has considered. They do not just improve what already exists. They create something entirely new. Steve Jobs did not invent the personal computer, the smartphone, or digital music. What he did was reimagine how people interact with technology. He saw what others missed: the need for simplicity, elegance, and seamless user experience. His ability to think differently transformed Apple into one of the most influential companies in history. The iPhone was not just another phone. It changed the way people communicate, work, and access information. Reed Hastings, the co-founder of Netflix, understood that people's viewing habits were shifting long before the entertainment industry did. At a time when most companies were still relying on DVD rentals and cable television, he envisioned a future where content would be streamed directly over the internet. Many doubted the idea, but he pushed forward. His decision to think beyond the present transformed Netflix from a DVD rental service into a global leader in entertainment. Elon Musk looked at the automotive industry and saw an opportunity where others saw failure. Electric cars had been attempted before, but they were seen as impractical and expensive. Musk ignored these doubts and built Tesla, proving that electric vehicles could be high performance, desirable, and commercially successful. He did the same with SpaceX, challenging the belief that private companies could not succeed in space exploration. By questioning industry norms and rethinking what was possible, he changed both sectors forever. Innovation is not about waiting for inspiration. It is about challenging assumptions and daring to be different. The best ideas often seem impossible at first. They are met with skepticism and resistance, but those who believe in them push forward. The greatest CEOs are not just business leaders. They are visionaries who see opportunities hidden in plain sight. They recognize that success comes not from following what has already been done, but from imagining what could be. Thinking differently is what leads to progress. The most groundbreaking companies and inventions came from people who refused to accept limitations. Innovation is not just about technology or new products. It is about perspective. It is about looking at an ordinary problem and finding an extraordinary solution. Those who change the world are not the ones who wait for the future to happen. They are the ones who create it. Leadership is not about having all the answers or never making mistakes. It is about making decisions with confidence, even in moments of uncertainty. The greatest CEOs do not wait for perfect conditions or guaranteed success before taking action. They lead with courage, even when there is doubt, risk, or resistance. Their ability to make bold decisions is what sets them apart and allows their companies to grow, adapt, and stay ahead in competitive industries. Making bold decisions requires the ability to trust one's judgment. Many leaders struggle with self-doubt, especially when faced with high-stakes choices that could either propel their company forward or lead to failure. But hesitation and fear of making the wrong move often do more harm than the decision itself. Great leaders understand that waiting for absolute certainty is impossible. They gather as much information as they can, consider different perspectives, and then take decisive action. Even when the outcome is not guaranteed, they move forward because they know that inaction leads to stagnation. Jeff Bezos built Amazon into one of the largest companies in the world, but at several points in its history, he had to make decisions that seemed risky at the time. One of the boldest moves he made was transitioning Amazon from an online bookstore into a massive e-commerce platform that sold almost everything. Many questioned whether it was a smart move, and there was no proof that customers would trust an online marketplace for such a wide range of products. But Bezos had a clear vision, and he believed that taking the risk was necessary for long-term success. His willingness to make that bold decision transformed Amazon into the global powerhouse it is today. Another example of fearless leadership is Satya Nadella's transformation of Microsoft. When he took over as CEO, the company was struggling with a rigid corporate structure and was losing ground to competitors. Instead of playing it safe and maintaining the existing culture, he made the tough decision to shift Microsoft's focus towards cloud computing and artificial intelligence. It was a risky move because it meant changing the company's direction and investing in areas that were not yet fully developed. But he had the confidence to push forward, knowing that innovation was necessary for survival. His leadership turned Microsoft into one of the most valuable companies in the world. Leading with courage does not mean ignoring fear. Even the most successful CEOs experience moments of doubt. The difference is that they do not let those doubts control their decisions. They acknowledge the risks, but they do not let fear stop them from acting. They understand that no decision is ever completely free of uncertainty, but taking action is always better than being paralyzed by indecision. One of the hardest parts of leadership is making decisions that will not be popular with everyone. Great CEOs are not afraid to stand by their choices, even when faced with criticism. They know that leadership is not about pleasing everyone, but about doing what is right for the long-term success of the company. Courage in leadership is about making choices that align with a strong vision, even when there is opposition. What separates great leaders from the rest is not the absence of fear, but the ability to move forward despite it. They trust their instincts, make bold choices, and embrace the responsibility that comes with leadership. Fearless leadership does not mean never making mistakes. It means having the confidence to learn from those mistakes and continue pushing forward. The strongest leaders understand that uncertainty is part of the journey, but what matters most is the willingness to take action. Courage is not just a quality of great leadership, it is the foundation of it. A company is more than just the products it sells or the services it offers. It is built on the people who work there, the values that guide decisions, and the environment that shapes daily experiences. The most successful companies in the world did not become great just because they had innovative ideas or strong business models. They thrived because they created a culture that made employees feel valued, motivated, and connected to a shared purpose. A strong workplace culture does not happen by accident. It is shaped by leadership, starting from the top. The most effective CEOs understand that employees are not just workers who complete tasks. They are the foundation of the company's success. When people feel respected and appreciated, they do more than just their jobs. They contribute ideas, collaborate better, and bring energy to everything they do. A positive culture encourages creativity, loyalty, and a shared commitment to excellence. One of the best examples of a company that has built a lasting culture is Google. From the beginning, its founders believed that employees should not only be productive, but also happy and engaged in their work. Google introduced an environment that was different from traditional corporate settings. It offered open workspaces, flexible schedules, and benefits that showed employees they were valued. But more importantly, it fostered a culture where employees were encouraged to share ideas, experiment with new projects, and challenge the status quo. This approach helped Google stay at the forefront of innovation because people felt safe to think differently and take risks without fear of failure. Apple is another company that has built a strong culture, but in a different way. Under the leadership of Steve Jobs, Apple was known for its obsession with excellence and attention to detail. Jobs created a culture where employees were pushed to do their best work, not because of pressure, but because they believed in the company's mission. Apple's culture was built around the idea that design, simplicity, and user experience mattered more than anything else. Employees felt they were part of something bigger than just making products. They were creating tools that changed the way people interacted with technology. The best CEOs know that culture is not just about perks, office spaces, or company policies. It is about values. A company's values define how decisions are made, how employees treat each other, and how the business operates every day. Leaders who take culture seriously focus on building trust, encouraging teamwork, and making sure that employees understand the bigger purpose of their work. When people believe in the mission of a company, they put more effort into what they do, and their sense of belonging makes the organization stronger. A great culture is also about how employees are treated. Companies that genuinely care about their people see higher levels of engagement and performance. Treating employees well does not just mean offering competitive salaries or benefits. It means recognizing their contributions, listening to their ideas, and making sure they have opportunities to grow. CEOs who create an environment where employees feel heard and respected build teams that are more committed and passionate about their work. Leadership plays a major role in shaping culture, but it is not something that can be forced. It must be lived and demonstrated every day. When a CEO prioritizes openness, fairness, and collaboration, those values spread throughout the company. Employees take on the same mindset, and it becomes part of how the organization functions. When leaders ignore culture or treat it as an afterthought, it leads to disengagement, high turnover, and a lack of innovation. A company's long-term success is not just about its products or profits. It is about the people who make it all possible. Businesses that last are built on strong foundations of trust, respect, and a clear sense of purpose. The most successful CEOs understand that when they invest in their employees, they are investing in the future of their company. Products may change, markets may shift, but a strong culture will always be the driving force behind sustained success. Communication is one of the most powerful skills a leader can have. The ability to express ideas clearly, inspire people, and create a shared vision is what separates great CEOs from the rest. Success in business is not just about having innovative ideas or making smart decisions. It is about making sure that others understand those ideas, believe in them, and feel motivated to take action. The best leaders in the world are not just skilled in strategy and execution. They know how to connect with people through words, stories, and active listening. A CEO's vision is the foundation of a company's success, but a vision that is not communicated effectively remains just an idea. Great leaders know how to translate their thoughts into words that inspire action. They do not overwhelm their teams with complex explanations or technical details. Instead, they simplify their message so that everyone, from employees to customers, understands the bigger picture. A strong vision, when communicated well, gives people direction and a sense of purpose. It makes them feel like they are part of something meaningful rather than just completing tasks. Storytelling is one of the most powerful tools that great leaders use to communicate. People do not just remember facts or statistics. They remember stories that touch their emotions. The most successful CEOs use personal experiences, historical examples, or simple anecdotes to explain their ideas. They make their messages relatable so that people connect with them on a deeper level. When Steve Jobs introduced the iPhone, he did not just talk about its technical features. He told a story about how the device would change the way people communicate, work, and live. That ability to paint a clear picture through storytelling made his message more impactful. Communication is not just about speaking, it is also about listening. Many leaders believe that their job is to talk, give orders, and make decisions. But the best CEOs understand that listening is just as important as speaking. When leaders take the time to listen to employees, customers, and advisors, they gain valuable insights. They understand what people need, what challenges they face, and how the company can improve. Listening builds trust because it shows that a leader values the opinions of others. It creates an environment where people feel heard, respected, and encouraged to share their ideas. Jeff Bezos built Amazon into one of the most successful companies in the world, but he always prioritized customer feedback. He listened to complaints, studied customer behavior, and adjusted the company's strategy based on what people actually wanted. His ability to communicate clearly with both his team and his customers helped Amazon stay ahead in an extremely competitive industry. Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, transformed the company's culture by focusing on empathetic communication. When he took over, he encouraged employees to have open conversations, ask questions, and share ideas without fear. He emphasized a growth mindset where mistakes were seen as opportunities to learn rather than failures. His leadership style showed that true communication is not about authority, but about creating a culture of openness and collaboration. Clear communication builds trust. Employees trust leaders who speak honestly, explain decisions clearly, and listen to feedback. Customers trust companies that communicate transparently about their products, values, and mission. Investors trust CEOs who articulate a strong vision and back it up with clear actions. In every part of business, trust is built through communication that is open, honest, and easy to understand. Mastering the art of communication is not just about speaking well or delivering great speeches. It is about making people feel connected to a vision, using storytelling to make ideas memorable, and listening as much as speaking. The most successful leaders are those who understand that communication is not just a skill, it is the foundation of leadership. When people feel heard, Inspired and aligned with a clear vision, they work with greater passion, creativity, and commitment. Change is inevitable in business. Markets shift, new technologies emerge, and customer preferences evolve. No company, no matter how successful, can afford to stay the same forever. The most successful CEOs understand that adaptability is not just an advantage, it is a necessity. Those who resist change risk being left behind, while those who embrace it create new opportunities and shape the future of their industries. Navigating uncertain times requires the ability to see change not as a threat, but as a chance to grow. Many of the world's top CEOs have faced moments when their industries were disrupted. Some saw competition rise overnight, while others watched the business models that once worked so well start to fail. The difference between those who thrived and those who struggled was the willingness to let go of old ways of thinking and embrace new possibilities. Reed Hastings, the co-founder of Netflix, built his company on DVD rentals. For years, the business was growing, and customers loved the convenience of getting movies delivered to their homes. But as the internet became faster and more accessible, Hastings saw that the future of entertainment was not in physical DVDs, but in digital streaming. Many advised him to stick with what was working, but he took a bold step and shifted Netflix toward an entirely new model. It was not an easy transition, and there were many risks involved, but his willingness to adapt turned Netflix into a global leader in digital entertainment. Another powerful example of adaptability is Satya Nadella's leadership at Microsoft. When he became CEO, the company was struggling to stay relevant. Its business was built on selling software like Windows and Office, but the industry was moving toward cloud computing and subscription-based services. Instead of holding on to outdated strategies, Nadella shifted Microsoft's focus. He expanded the company's investment in cloud technology and changed the way Microsoft sold its products. This transformation helped Microsoft regain its position as one of the most valuable companies in the world. Adaptability is not just about making big changes when industries shift. It is also about staying flexible in day-to-day decision-making. The best CEOs do not assume they have all the answers. They listen, observe, and adjust their strategies based on new information. They are open to learning from their employees, customers, and competitors. They encourage experimentation and are not afraid to pivot when something is not working. Elon Musk is known for pushing boundaries in multiple industries, from electric cars to space travel. But what makes him stand out is his ability to adjust when challenges arise. Tesla faced major production delays, and SpaceX had several failed rocket launches. Instead of seeing these setbacks as signs to stop, Musk treated them as learning experiences. He made adjustments, improved processes, and continued moving forward. His ability to stay flexible has helped him turn ambitious ideas into reality. One of the biggest mistakes leaders make is assuming that what worked yesterday will work tomorrow. Companies that once dominated their industries like Kodak and Blockbuster failed because they resisted change for too long. They were successful for years, but when new technology emerged, they did not adapt quickly enough. Their hesitation allowed competitors to take over, proving that success is never guaranteed. It must be continuously earned. The secret to long-term success is not just intelligence, hard work, or even innovation. It is the ability to stay open-minded, respond to change, and reinvent when necessary. The best CEOs do not see change as a challenge to survive. They see it as an opportunity to lead. They understand that adaptability is not just about keeping up. It is about staying ahead. Money is one of the most important factors in building a successful business, but handling it wisely is what separates great CEOs from the rest. Managing finances is not just about earning revenue. It is about making decisions that ensure long-term growth and stability. The best leaders know how to balance risk and caution. invest in the right opportunities, and reinvest in their own development and their company's future. Financial success in business does not come from short-term profits alone. It comes from understanding how to allocate resources effectively. Great CEOs do not simply focus on making money. They focus on making money work for them. They know that every financial decision has consequences, and they carefully analyze the risks and rewards before making major investments. They look beyond immediate gains and think about how each choice will impact the company's future. Jeff Bezos built Amazon into one of the biggest companies in the world by prioritizing long-term growth over short-term profits. In the early years, Amazon was not highly profitable because Bezos reinvested most of the company's earnings into expanding operations, improving technology, and enhancing customer experience. Many investors were skeptical, but his approach paid off. By continuously reinvesting in the business, Amazon became a dominant force in e-commerce and cloud computing. His financial strategy showed that sustainable success comes from thinking beyond the present and preparing for the future. Elon Musk follows a similar approach. When he sold his first company, he could have lived comfortably without taking any more risks. Instead, he put almost all of his money into Tesla, SpaceX, and other ventures. This was an enormous financial risk, and at times it left him on the edge of bankruptcy. But he believed in the long-term potential of his businesses, and his willingness to reinvest in his vision eventually paid off. Today, his companies are among the most influential in their industries. His journey proves that the right financial decisions require both courage and patience. Smart financial management is not just about spending money wisely. It is also about knowing when to take risks and when to be cautious. The best CEOs understand that taking risks is necessary for growth, but they do not take reckless chances. They study the market, evaluate potential outcomes, and make informed decisions. They know that risk without strategy can lead to failure, but calculated risks can open doors to new opportunities. Apple provides a strong example of balancing financial stability with bold investments. Under Steve Jobs and later Tim Cook, Apple made massive investments in product innovation, supply chain efficiency, and marketing. At the same time, the company maintained a strong financial foundation by managing costs carefully and ensuring steady cash flow. This combination allowed Apple to continue growing without putting the company's future at risk. Another important financial principle that successful CEOs follow is reinvesting in themselves. They understand that personal growth leads to business growth. They invest in learning, networking, and staying updated on industry trends. They surround themselves with experts and advisors who help them make better decisions. They also create environments where their teams can develop new skills and contribute fresh ideas. A company is only as strong as the people leading it, and those who continue to grow personally bring more value to their business. Financial success is not just about making money. It is about managing it with discipline, vision, and strategy. The best CEOs do not focus only on immediate profits. They build sustainable businesses by reinvesting in growth, taking calculated risks, and continuously learning. They understand that money is a tool, and when used wisely, it can create lasting success that benefits both the company and the people it serves. Success is often measured by wealth, power, and achievements, but the greatest leaders understand that true success goes beyond personal gain. The most respected CEOs in the world do not just focus on growing their businesses, they focus on making a difference. They believe that success should create a lasting impact, not just for themselves, but for the people and communities around them. Giving back is not an obligation for them. It is a responsibility and a way to build something meaningful that lasts beyond their lifetime. Many top CEOs see philanthropy and social responsibility as an essential part of leadership. They recognize that their influence gives them the power to address global challenges, support important causes, and improve the lives of others. For them, giving back is not just about donating money. It is about using their resources, time, and expertise to create real change. They invest in education, healthcare, environmental protection, and social programs that help people thrive. They understand that a business cannot exist in isolation. It is part of a larger world, and its success should contribute to the well-being of society. Bill Gates is one of the most well-known examples of a CEO who dedicated his success to making a difference. After building Microsoft into one of the most valuable companies in the world, he shifted his focus toward philanthropy. Through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, he has worked to eliminate diseases, improve education, and provide better access to healthcare in developing countries. His belief that wealth should be used to solve the world's biggest problems has inspired many other business leaders to follow the same path. Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors of all time, has also committed to giving back. He pledged to donate the majority of his fortune to charitable causes and has encouraged other billionaires to do the same through the Giving Pledge initiative. His philosophy is simple. Money should not just accumulate, it should serve a greater purpose. His decision to dedicate his wealth to philanthropy shows that true success is not measured by how much a person has, but by how much they contribute to the world. Oprah Winfrey built her career in media, but she has always seen her success as a platform to help others. She has funded scholarships, supported education initiatives, and created programs that empower young women. Her belief in the power of giving has shaped her legacy, proving that the greatest influence a person can have is in the lives they uplift. Many companies have also embedded social responsibility into their core values. Patagonia, the outdoor clothing company, has made environmental sustainability a central part of its mission. The company invests in protecting natural resources, donates a percentage of its profits to environmental causes, and ensures that its business operations minimize harm to the planet. This commitment has not only strengthened its reputation, but also set an example for how businesses can succeed while making a positive impact. True success is not just about making money. It is about leaving the world better than it was before. The most influential CEOs understand that wealth and power mean little if they do not create something meaningful. Their decision to give back is not just an act of generosity. It is a reflection of their values and vision for a better future. Their legacies are not defined by the companies they built, but by the lives they changed. The most enduring success stories are those that extend beyond business and into the heart of humanity. Success is not a one-time event. It is not something that happens overnight or a final goal that can be reached and then left behind. The most successful CEOs understand that success is a continuous journey. Even after achieving what many would consider the peak of their careers, they do not stop growing, learning, or improving. What keeps them going is not just ambition, but a mindset built on discipline, motivation, and a deep sense of purpose. Every great leader has habits that shape their daily lives. These routines are not just about work. They are about creating a balanced and focused mindset that allows them to handle challenges, make better decisions, and stay productive. Many top CEOs start their mornings early, giving themselves time to think, exercise, or read before their workday begins. This quiet time allows them to prepare mentally for the day ahead. They prioritize their most important tasks first, ensuring that their energy is spent on what truly matters. Discipline is one of the strongest qualities that sets successful leaders apart. It is easy to feel motivated when things are going well, but discipline is what keeps them moving forward when challenges arise. They do not rely on inspiration alone. They rely on consistent effort, even when they do not feel like it. They set clear goals for themselves and their companies, and they follow through with persistence. They understand that small daily actions, repeated over time, lead to big results. Even after reaching financial success, many CEOs continue to push themselves to improve. They are always looking for ways to expand their knowledge, develop new skills, and become better leaders. Reading is a common habit among them. Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors in history, spends hours each day reading about business markets and history. He believes that knowledge compounds over time, just like money does. Bill Gates is another leader known for his reading habits, often finishing dozens of books each year. This commitment to learning keeps their minds sharp and helps them adapt to changes in their industries. Gratitude also plays a major role in the mindset of successful CEOs. Many of them take time to reflect on what they have achieved and appreciate the people who helped them along the way. They understand that success is not just about personal effort, but also about teamwork, support, and opportunities given by others. Expressing gratitude helps them stay grounded and keeps them focused on what truly matters. Staying motivated after achieving success is not always easy. Once financial goals are met, some might wonder what is left to strive for. But great leaders do not measure their success by money alone. They are driven by a sense of purpose, a desire to create, and a passion for making a difference. Elon Musk, despite already building multiple billion-dollar companies, continues to work long hours because he is deeply invested in his vision of advancing technology and space exploration. His motivation comes not from personal wealth, but from the belief that his work has the potential to change the future. Self-improvement is a lifelong practice for successful CEOs. They continuously refine their leadership skills, stay physically and mentally fit, and seek out new challenges. They surround themselves with people who push them to think differently and expand their perspectives. They welcome feedback and are not afraid to admit when they need to change. This mindset of growth keeps them moving forward, no matter how much they have already accomplished. Success is not a final destination. It is a path of constant learning, discipline, and personal development. The most accomplished leaders do not stop once they achieve their goals. They set new ones. They do not allow themselves to become complacent. They keep pushing forward. They know that the journey never truly ends, because there is always more to explore, more to learn, and more to contribute. Success is not reserved for a select few. It is not something that only people with wealth, connections, or special talents can achieve. Every great CEO, entrepreneur, and leader started somewhere, often with nothing more than a dream and a willingness to learn. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay where they are is not luck or privilege. It is action. It is the decision to take the first step, to keep going even when things get tough, and to never stop growing. The lessons from the world's top CEOs are not just for business owners. They apply to anyone in any career or field. Whether you are an employee, a student, an artist, or someone trying to start something new, the mindset that leads to success remains the same. It is built on resilience, curiosity, discipline, and the ability to adapt. It is about seeing challenges as opportunities, failures as lessons, and the future as something that you have the power to shape. Developing a CEO mindset starts with how you approach your work and your life. The best leaders do not wait for the perfect moment to begin. They start with what they have, where they are, and they build from there. They take ownership of their actions, make decisions with confidence, and seek knowledge at every opportunity. They do not see their job as just a job. They see it as a chance to grow, contribute, and make a difference. Whether leading a company or working in a team, the mindset of responsibility and initiative is what sets people apart. Learning is one of the most powerful tools for success. The greatest CEOs are not the ones who know everything, but the ones who are always looking for ways to improve. They read, ask questions, and surround themselves with people who challenge them to think differently. Developing a habit of continuous learning opens doors that may not seem possible at first. It builds confidence, expands opportunities, and allows for smarter decision-making. Success is not about waiting for someone to hand you an opportunity. It is about creating your own. It is about taking small steps each day towards something bigger. It is about believing that no matter where you are starting from, growth is always possible. The road will not always be easy, and there will be moments of doubt. But the people who achieve great things are the ones who keep going, even when they do not have all the answers. Every CEO, entrepreneur, and leader who has built something meaningful once stood where you are now, at the beginning. They were uncertain. They faced obstacles. They made mistakes, but they did not let those things stop them. They took action, learned from their experiences, and kept moving forward. The same path is open to you. Your journey starts now. The lessons from the most successful people in the world are not just stories to admire. They are strategies to apply in your own life. You have the ability to think differently, to take risks, to adapt, and to build something great. Success is not a distant dream. It is a possibility waiting for you to claim it. The only question is whether you are willing to take the first step. As we wrap up, remember this. Every CEO, every leader, every visionary was once exactly where you are now. A dreamer with big ideas, just like you. The road to success isn't always straight, but it's the lessons learned and the persistence that make it worth the journey. Keep pushing forward, keep embracing every opportunity to learn, and never underestimate the power of your own story. Your success is waiting to be written, and it all starts with the next step. Keep going, you've got this.